Joining us now is Attorney Julito Añora Jr., the complainant who filed administrative and criminal charges against several Cebu officials. Attorney, thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, all right, Attorney, what pushed you to file this complaint against yung mga officials? No, I think mostly sa Cebu.
Yes, sir. I actually hear when the typhoon has caused damage here in Cebu. I've seen firsthand the onslaught of Typhoon Tino that has caused plenty of casualties, most specifically here in Cebu. I have participated the relief operations, most likely in Talisay and in Liluan. And I've seen firsthand and talked personally with the victims that there were no local officials that have assisted their agony during these times of crisis. And when I heard the news that our local chief executives, most local chief executives in the 5th district are not around precisely because they were in London for personal travel, I have the urgency, the moral sense of urgency to file cases against them because, their acts of being not around here in the Philippines actually violate RA 10121 or the Disaster Risk Management of 2010. Their acts could also be a violation of RA 3019 or your Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act, RA 6713, or the Code of Conduct of Public Officials and Employees, your RA 7160, or your Local Government Code of 1991. The case I filed actually is not really for vengeance. I just have to make it clear. This is really a call for public accountability to all of these local chief executives.
Okay. Attorney, what do you have to say to the statement of Congressman Duke Frasco saying na ito daw pong complaint na to is based on erroneous assumptions and misrepresentation, saying na legit naman yung kanilang may travel authority sila to leave the country para dun daw sa kanilang pupuntahan na conference ba yun whatsoever?
Well, as for Representative Duke Frasco, I actually anticipated his defense. If I have to read his arguments, he mentioned that as a legislator, my constitutional duties encompass representation, lawmaking, and oversight. But I just have to correct him because, under Article 6 of the 1987 Constitution, members of Congress perform legislative and oversight functions. These oversight functions include the power to request, the power to facilitate, the power to expedite assistance. So I have included that in my complaint, if I may read. In times of calamity, this means direct coordination with the NDRRMC, the SWD, DPWH, DILG, PNP, and Representative Duke Frasco has that power because he is the national representative of the district. So even if he would argue that, the power is to legislate law, and he would in fact tell us that he has travel authority. But travel authority does not, even if validly issued, does not suspend, diminish, override, or exempt a public official from the mandatory legal duties imposed upon them by the Constitution. RA 7160, RA 3019, RA 6713, RA 10121, and of course, the constitutional provision, Article 11, Section 1 of the 1987 Constitution.
Attorney, on a broader perspective, don't you think also, of course, we're not lawyers here, at that point when the Cebu province received a announcement from Pag-asa, October 27 kasi yun and November 1 sila umalis, diba? Don't you think that also Governor Pambaricuatro has somewhat accountability here as well, na sana binawi na lang niya yung travel authority that she signed?
Well, I cannot speak in behalf of Governor Pambaricuatro, but in my legal analysis, the act of approving is different from act of withdrawing. In fact, 8 mayors have submitted their travel authority before the office of the ombudsman, and it is their discretion to cancel it or to proceed or not to proceed. In fact, the mayor of Bourbon, Mayor Nico Dotilos, has canceled uh, his travel authority because of the impending disaster of the Typhoon
Pero
Tino.
Ay, clarify ko lang, attorney, sino nag-grant ng travel authority? Is it the DILG or the governor?
The governor.
Okay.
And then, of course, attorney, ang tanong dito, di ba, sinasabi nila itong mga complaints na to against them is more on political perception din. So, ang tanong dito, attorney, meron bang political head behind this complaint?
I'm a public advocate ever since. I would not file cases if I did not see any legal dilemma. I have been filing cases against Governor Gwen beforehand. I've been filing cases against public officials if I see that they have violated the law. I have been very vocal about this issue because I have been labeled as having had support by politicians or groups, or some sectors would say that I have received support from Governor Pambare Cuatro. But, I did not receive any such support. In fact, I decided to file case only on November 9, 2025. And I made the pleadings on November 10 and submitted it by November 11. So I don't really see such arguments, in the social media. But, people are entitled to their own opinion.
That's
But,
right.
coming from the perspective of a lawyer, I do not have any support from these politicians.
Attorney, in case, last on my part, in case they're found guilty, yung mga kinasuhan mo, ano ba yung punishment sa mga kaso na final mo?
Well, the prayers that I've asked for the Office of the Ombudsman is to conduct full criminal and administrative investigation. Once these administrative investigations are ongoing, I've asked the Office of the Ombudsman to place these respondents under preventive suspension. I've also asked the Ombudsman to find respondent liable for gross neglect of duty, grave misconduct, dereliction of duty, conduct judicial to the best interest of service, violations of 6713, RA 3019, and of course RA 7160.
Okay.
For criminal charges under RA 3019, Section 3E
Yes.
and 3F.
All right, we will continue to get in touch with you regarding this issue. For the meantime, maraming salamat po sa inyong oras, Attorney Julito Añora Jr.
Thank you, ma'am.